Chelsea fans, I was wrong about Joao Felix. Joao Felix at AC Milan is not looking good at this moment in time, and we need to talk about it. Furthermore, I was asked a very interesting question. Who are the 5 best players for Chelsea Football Club at this moment based on performances? And you know what? I said no problem, Gaffer. I'm going to sit down, I'll give you a list. So I'm going to bring it to you guys as well. But before we get started, number 1, hit that like button. Number 2, subscribe to the channel because it really supports. And look, we're on the route to 40,000. We are crawling, but we need to get there. So subscribe and do me a favor. And in the comments below, let me know who are your 5 best players this season for Chelsea Football Club. It's actually a lot easier to do than you think. Let's get started. Look, Joao Felix is a fantastic footballer based on ability. I think we can all agree. If you sit here and tell me this guy's got no ability, you're lying to yourself. Great first touch, ability to beat a man off a dribble, ability to receive the ball in tight areas, good weight of pass, good ball striking. The issue is when you combine it, it doesn't really produce numbers. And it's weird why it doesn't produce numbers. So what happened? Chelsea signed Joao Felix after a long saga of Joao Felix coming to Chelsea, going to Barcelona on loan. Then all of a sudden we were going to get Samuel Marodian, and somehow Conor Gallagher goes to Atletico Madrid and Chelsea gets Joao Felix in a £50 million deal. Right? Everybody, including Joao Felix, said this is his home for the foreseeable future. He can't wait to play for the club. Fast forward, Joao Felix played Conference League minutes. He's made 3 starts, if I'm not mistaken, in the Premier League, and now he's on loan again at AC Milan. What has happened at AC Milan? Well, it's something that hasn't happened in his career very often. Regular football. In 8 games, since he's been eligible for AC Milan, he's played in 8. Wonderful. He started 6 of those games, 2 of them off the bench. The 2 games that he came off the bench, 1 of them was 31 minutes and he got the goal against Roma in the Cup, his debut. And yesterday he came on the 38th minute, I think it was for Fofana, and all of a sudden he looked invisible. Why am I doing this video? I need to hold my hands up because what have I been preaching on this channel? If Joao Felix gets regular minutes, I think Joao Felix will be a very good player. Well, Joao Felix doesn't have that excuse. Joao Felix is getting regular minutes in a slower league in Italy. And what's happening is he's not being impactful on the games. What is ending up happening is Milan aren't winning games. So what happens is Joao Felix gets the blame. And we need to talk about what is happening here. Because Leao's not playing well. Pulisic isn't playing well. And Joao's not playing well. A lot of you are saying, hold up, wait a minute, my friend. I don't care about AC Milan. But you're meant to care about this because he's going to be coming back to Chelsea. Fabrizio's released a statement, basically, and reiterates, at this moment in time, Milan are not going to try to get an option of 40 to 45 million pounds. Joao Felix will be returning to Chelsea. And now he is going to be our problem. Personally, I think there's a player in there. He looked good for us. He would be a great bench option. Problem here is his agent, George Mendes, doesn't think he's a bench option. Joao Felix doesn't believe he's a bench option and wants regular minutes. And Enzo Maresca doesn't see him playing any other position apart from the number 10. Do you see the problem here? We're going to be back at square one, but in this case, we're Atletico Madrid. And what really worries me is what's happening. Am I saying Joao Felix is a bad player? I don't think he's a bad player. I think he's a very good player. Is he the player I thought he was? No. I don't think now Joao Felix is good enough to start at Chelsea Football Club. I don't. I think even if you play him on the left-hand side, he is not good enough for us to win a league. And for me, if he's not good enough for us to win a league, I don't want him starting there. Because a lot of you are going to say, Alex, but you said he's phenomenal. I think he's a phenomenal talent. I would pay money to watch this player play. He is so good on the ball. The problem with Joao Felix is he doesn't put up numbers. And you can see that at Milan. Because people are saying he hasn't had a single good game at Milan. But that's a lie. I've watched the game. He's impactful. The problem is when you're losing and you're not getting numbers, that contributes to, in 2025, you're not having a good game, according to people. And sadly, what I've noticed now is Joao Felix's name is very popular. I don't understand why, but when he's at Chelsea Football Club, if I put him in a thumbnail or a title, you lot watch. Either you hate him or you love him. There's no in between. He's gone to Milan, and guess what's happened now? Journalists talking about Joao in the brightest of bright lights. Couple of bad performances, negative of negative lights. All of that filters back to the UK, and some reason reason, Joao Felix's name gets clicks. I don't know what it is. Nobody talks about Sancho like this. Nobody talks about Neto like this. Noni like this. And for me, it's a clear blueprint. This player either gets overhyped by people like me, or he gets absolutely battered by other people. There is no actual objective analysis around him, and I don't understand why, because what ends up happening is when I say in a video like this, I think he's good enough to be a cover for us and good enough to start on the left wing because he's competing with Neto and Sancho, people tell me, oh my God, you think he's better than Palmer? I never said that. And this is where the analysis gets so skewed because I end up battling those people. People read what I say to those extremists, and all of a sudden my original point gets swayed. What is going to happen with Joao Felix is interesting, but I think we are going to have a huge problem on our hands in the summer unless he fixes his form. Now I got asked a very interesting question. And this second question is phenomenal because I like to answer questions like this because it makes me think. It's thought-provoking. Who are the best 5 players at Chelsea this season? So what I thought was, this can't be the best players at Chelsea because by that logic, Reece James should be in it. But Reece James hasn't been the best 5 players at Chelsea this year. It can't be Levi Colwill, it can't be Romeo Lavia, it can't include Pedro Neto. Who are the 5? So I thought, let me make a list. And you lot in the comments while I'm doing it, make your own. Number 5 for me was Nicholas Jackson. Jackson, if this was done in December, would have been top 2. However, since December, he's deteriorated. Then he got injured, hasn't been around. I think Jackson's season is a very interesting one because till December, he was arguably top 5 strikers in the league. And then after, his season deteriorated like I've never seen before. 9 games without a goal, confidence gone out of his body. He just looked like a man that was playing with all the pressure in the world on his shoulders. Whether it's fatigue, whether it's ability, whether it's mental, I don't know. But he's still, damningly enough, number 5 for us. Number 4, Cucurella. I think Cucurella has been an amazing player for Chelsea Football Club this year. Cucurella gives us security. I call him Captain Fantastic in terms of he reminds me of Aspi. Yes, he's not our captain, but he reminds me of Aspilicueta. Good professional, good person around the dressing room, does his job to a good standard, always reliable, and more importantly, the key thing about him is he's just no drama. You want to play on the ball? No problem. You want to play the ugly game? No problem. You want him to kick somebody, bite somebody? He'll do it. He will do it. He's one of those players. And for me, he is now adding goals into his game because of the position he plays in. I just want him to be a left back. Genuinely, I just want him to be a left back. All in all, very, very good left back. Number 3, Enzo Fernandez. Enzo Fernandez started the season poorly. I thought he was okay against Manchester City, and then little bit of form deteriorated. A lot of people started saying, oh, he's not good enough, he wants to leave, he's overweight, Romeo and Caicedo have to play. He got taken out of the firing line for a few games, and what ended up happening was the man got himself into the best shape of his life. He started performing on the pitch. He showed everybody that he's integral to this team, and when he plays well, usually we tend to win. So the reality is, Enzo Fernandez is 3rd. Enzo Fernandez's performances this year, some of them have been absolutely unreal. Some of them have even been as good where you don't worry about the fee that you paid for him. Like, you forget about it. You're like, it's Enzo, innit? It's an Enzo performance. He could be at Real Madrid one day. And a lot of people say, oh, he's terrible. Conor Gallagher was better than him. And I always question, do you see Real Madrid buying Conor Gallagher? No. Do you see Real Madrid signing Enzo Fernandez and starting him? Yes, I really do. Next player. Number 2, definitely Cole Palmer. I think Cole Palmer set the expectations so high for himself now that it's got to a point now where unless he's Ballon d'Or Palmer, we don't rate him. Unless Palmer's putting up 24 league goals with 12, 13 assists, we don't take him seriously. And we're like, oh, he's having a bad season. He hasn't got an assist or a goal in 6 games. And Palmer's putting that pressure on himself. But if you look at his numbers this year, they're actually very good. Problem is no one else is helping him. You want him to be a freak. You want him to be Messi, Ronaldo. You want him to be Salah. But if you compare his numbers to other people that he's competing with, and the reality is, you compare his numbers to Saka, dude, he's putting up the same numbers. It's just Saka had help from Odegaard. Our boy had Jackson, and then Jackson disappeared. So the reality is, Palmer's number 2, hopefully he clicks now, and that bad form just becomes a run of good form and a run of numbers, and we are all over the moon. The number one player is Moises Caicedo. I think Moises Caicedo has been the most consistent player. Look, Caicedo doesn't play in a position that's sexy. Do you know what I mean? Centre defensive midfield is not the position where you get all the plaudits. However, he is an outstanding footballer. His weight of pass has really improved this year. His ability to thread one through the lines for someone to run in behind. The other day, he got robbed of an assist. Palmer slipped and then got it past the player and then consecrated it off the line. We could have won that game and that Caicedo assist would have been spoken about. However, Caicedo has been so good. He's just a consistent 7 out of 10, 8s every now and then, 9s occasionally. Like, he's just so reliable. And I think what people don't understand is, take him out of our team and the dampening effect on our performances, on our place in the table, will be enormous. I think if you take Palmer out, it would hurt us. But if you take Caicedo out, I don't think we make top 10. That's how bad I think we'd become without Moises Caicedo. His energy, legs, and just the ability to replace him. I think he's our most valuable player this season and of every season going forward in recent history, like since he's been at the club. I thought he was outstanding last year. Poch ran him into the ground. I think moving forward, he will be outstanding. He's one of my favorite players at the club at the moment. But that's my list. I want to hear yours. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and if you want more Chelsea related news, there's a video right here to keep you up to date with everything you know, because when are you getting enough of Chelsea? Go check it out.